Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the VConvis channel. Well, today I'm going to be going over the updates that are coming on November 8th, I believe. And this is going to be the third global update that's coming out. And while I'm talking, I'm just going to be playing some of these replays on in the background that I played, I think, yesterday. And a few of them I messed up pretty bad, but I somehow came out with a win in both of them. I'll just let those keep playing on the sideline, but I'm not really going to focus on that. Some bad plays in these, just to forewarn. I still won them both. But I don't play the best. I'm just gonna say that right now. Anyway, actually, this one I think I play. I don't know. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna stop talking. Anyway, so I make some good plays. I make some bad plays. There, we're done with that. Okay, now we're on. I'm gonna start reading off what is going on in this league. So we're having this third update that's coming out right now. Tomorrow, that's gonna be. So this is gonna be a big change. Guilds are gonna be coming out as well. That's part of the update. And so each guild can have 50 members, and I like this. They're kind of copying Clash Royale. I believe there's 50 players in that as well. Friendly battles, obviously you need to have that guild chat, card support, which means probably like you can donate cards, which is great. Video sharing, which is interesting. That's the same thing every other game. And then a selection of, they say 1,792 kinds of guild banners, but like, I don't know what they were spending so much of their time designing guild banners. Like, that's not big of a deal to me. I don't think that's a big deal to many people. It's kind of seems like a waste of time and energy. I'd rather have them looking at different ways to bugs and stuff to fix in the game instead of worrying about guild design banners. Anyway, they're also increasing the amount of keys for like to open up books and stuff. I don't know what they're called, chests, to 8 as you like upgrade your in tiers on the ladder. And I don't know if I necessarily like this, to be honest, because as you move up in the ladder, you don't really, like, you still care about the books or the chests and stuff, but they're not like that big of a deal. It's like in the beginning, it's where you want all the stuff so you can get new cards and stuff. But I don't see anybody playing 8 matches in a row. And it just seems like they're really buffing free-to-play players, and like that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, I'm free-to-play, I get free gems from some sorts. I can't say, I'm sorry. But they're just like, I don't know if changing it to 8 keys will make people play more, and I don't know. I think that just makes it seem like there's nothing that you're really getting. It doesn't feel special when you get a key. It doesn't really feel special you're opening a crate, because you can just always open a crate with 8 keys. It's like you're never gonna run out of time. No one has the time to play this game that much where you run out of the keys. It's just not a thing. But that's like, that's a ton of time to fill up 8 key slots and to have them all run out. So that says it will happen in the middle of the update. And also, so seasons only reset once a month as it currently sets. So that means champion players are going to be, they can go up the ladder and then they come back down at their season reset. And that's once every month as of right now. But they're going to be changing that in this update, so where it's it's 2 times a month, once in the middle of the month and one at the end of the month. And personally, this is kind of strange, I'll be honest. I think they should like maybe change this so where it's not necessarily twice a month, but it's like 30, not necessarily 30 days, but like every like 20 days, where it's not actually a set amount of time. It's not like every twice a month or something. Because honestly, it doesn't seem like you have enough time to grind on the ladder and try and get high up. And although they're saying the reason for this is because people will just wait until the end and then start grinding out games, but honestly, this is kind of a stupid reason. I think if people, like, it doesn't give people to incentive really much. I guess it does to grind out the game more. But again, I don't know if this necessarily helps out the game. Change it to have 2 times, having the season reset twice. It just seems kind of almost too much of the game just being set down. Because then if you get up there, let's say you're like let's say you're like me, you're a level 6 player, right, on the board, and now when the season resets, you're then playing against level 13 or the highest level players again, and then you're just gonna be pushed down in the ladder and you can't play against people your own rank. It's kind of like the thing where Clash Royale had it, where they reset it so not everyone comes down to the certain amount of trophies. I forget it was, but they had it where people only reduced their trophies by half, and that allowed people to kind of filter out who you're playing against, so you're no longer playing against max players in the beginning of the season. And I think this is going to be happening a lot more. We're going to have low tier players playing against really maxed out, and I don't know if that helps the game at all. Additionally, what they're doing is castle tier upgrades. So what you're going to do here now is that they're going to have an option where now you can get as many cards as you want from from tier 1, for example, but your castle will not upgrade. What you have to do to upgrade your castle is you have to spend some you have to spend some of your own mana that you've collected over the course of the game. In the picture they provide, it says 150, but they actually say later on in the little update that the pictures might not be correct, and then in the update they are going to be changing that. But if it is 150, no one will go tier 2 because tier 1 is so strong right now with the addition of the troll slingers. And if they are going to have anybody wanting to go to tier 2 or tier 3, there's just like it's kind of insane to me that people are even gonna want to try to go for tier 3 at all, just because tier 1's so strong. You see players today like Nathanatos and other people going just straight tier 1. They're winning the game off to tier 1 cards, troll slingers, and it's kind of how the game is already tier 1 based. And I don't know if changing that makes it any different, because okay, one, now it bases the game off of a lot of like your early game pressure and a lot of like what you get early game. And so basically in the early game, you're guessing the cards your opponent has. The first cards that you get, you're a guess. You're trying to counter what they have, and you're basically just you're playing a wild game because you have no vision of what they're doing or any idea what they're doing. But what they also are adding, mind you, I forgot to mention this, they are also adding the scrying orb, where you can see your opponent's castle in in response. I believe it's going to be free, but they're going to take away the scrying orb, and they're emplacing this new thing. It's going to have a long cooldown, but it's going to be next to your hero, where you can now see the other enemy's tower, and it's just going to allow you to have vision, long cooldown and stuff. But I like I like this change. I think the scrying orb was a little bit old. No one ever uses it. No, I mean, people do use it. It does have a winning % record, I believe. But it's just not the most. It's not the most effective card. I like they're getting rid of it. But I also don't know. I mean, this helps solve the problem of countering stuff, and I actually do think this is a good addition to the game overall. I don't know about having mana cost for upgrading your tower, because then it's just even more centering around tier 1. And it's pretty much just going to be all troll slingers and shield mouse, and I don't really know what they're going to do to balance that. I mean, they are going to put out a balance update. They don't have the details to that yet. And I don't know if I like the fact that they're buffing tier 1 indirectly, and they're decreasing tier 3. They're gonna have to buff for sure the what is it, Tower of Doom. That one is going to need to be buffed, or any tier 3 card has to be buffed after this, just because of the fact that basically they're just destroying the entire like tier 3 metagame, where you could rush tier 3. Now it's like, I guess if you rush tier 3, now it's like more of a penalty, but now it's like, I don't know, you're put way more at a disadvantage, and you can't necessarily compete with the cards that your other opponent has, because you're just gonna be down so much mana. Anyway, going on, yeah, they're gonna have some balance updates, and what they're gonna be doing with balance updates is they're just changing around some cards. Troll Slinger's gonna have to be nerfed. Probably see an Archer buff. Shield Mouse, I think, is in a pretty good spot right now. I really hope they do not buff whatever it's called, not Valkyries. I don't know, the other people. The warrior, I don't know what they're called. I'm gonna stop talking about that. Anyway, they're changing around some cards. They haven't released that yet, but they're also changing the amount of cards you need to reach max level. Again, making it a little bit more free to play. I don't know. I think this is a good addition, just because it takes a lot of stuff to make it, make the game, like, make up to that top tier. But again, you don't want to make your game too free to play, because you still are trying to make a living as a game developer. And sorry, my game crashed on the side there. Additionally, they're going to be erasing the card transform, so you can transform card to the other one, to card decompose. And I think this is going to make another step to making new cards. I think they're indirectly buffing it. Getting that season 1 stuff. I'm going to keep I'm going to keep playing this replay. I'm going to skip through the beginning a little bit here, but Anyway, yeah, so the new thing, card decompose, and I think that's just going to add another step in creating new cards. I don't know if it's necessarily a bad thing, good thing. It might slow down the game a little bit, but it's kind of needed because with all these additions that they're making the game a little bit more free to play. This was a mistake here, right here. That was actually so frustrating when I was playing this. Oh yeah, now Mist Rock campaign is going to be a little bit more viable just because of the fact that your bar for getting chests will increase that as well. So there's a buff to Mist Rock campaign. More people playing that means less rewards for everybody. Yeah, nothing much really to say about that. Let me slow this down back to regular. Oh yeah, last big thing about this update that I'm really reading here is that all heroes will be available to all people at level 1. To every person that joins the game, all heroes will be available. And I kind of like that. It's definitely needed, I think, just to make sure that the game stays balanced. I don't know if you can necessarily, like, I think some, like, by doing this, I think you're buffing certain strategies early on. Because I think some heroes definitely are a little bit stronger when you don't have the correct cards to deal with them. But yeah, overall, the new season should be, or the new update coming out should be interesting. I don't know exactly if it's going to be, I think it's going to be good overall. I disagree a lot with their key decision and their decision to have castle upgrades be mana, unless they can add more tier 1 strategies, because right now it's just a lot of whatever it's called, shield mouse and troll slingers, and nothing else is really viable at the moment. It's kind of unfortunate. I wish they would buff some things like archers and cat mages so they can become a little bit more viable. And I think they should recognize that maybe shield mouse is, I mean, like, becoming a, like, meta in the game, and I think it's a part of the game that allows you to highlight a lot of skill. And I think that if they continue to nerf the shield mouse, that is not a good thing for the game, just because a lot of people base their whole gameplay around it, and I think it's a big expression of skill versus just goblin rushing or something else. If you can have good shield mouse play, you can generally win a game. Let me open up my pack here that I got from getting gold 1. Hopefully you got something good. Don't really know. Anyway, I hope you all are going to have fun tomorrow playing the ladder. I mean, they're updating it tomorrow, so I don't really know what the thing's going to be like. But it should be an interesting season. It's kind of unfortunate that I think troll slingers will have a very big impact again in an upcoming update and stuff. But what can you do really about it? Not much. Yeah, just gonna have to deal with it somehow. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do for the balance updates for different things. But also guilds coming out. If I should join a guild, let me know. Let me know all your guilds so I can shift through. I don't know which one. I don't know if I'm gonna make. I probably won't make one. But I'll probably join one at some point. I mean, pretty soon. I don't know what guild necessarily is gonna be, but yeah, I don't know what I'm saying here. I think I think I'm gonna be joining the Pyros guild if that's even an option. But we'll find out. It's been a long video today. Kind of sorry, not really sorry about that, but like a lot of me talking. I hope you all enjoyed the video. In general, make sure to like and subscribe for more Castle Burn in the future. I'll be grinding, trying to get to champion. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. I might go down next season or when the update comes out, just because I won't know the meta. It's gonna be a long time figuring out what's going on. I really dislike that I'm probably gonna have to get level 7 here if the meta shifts too much, because a lot of the cards I've leveled are to the meta. I have to start playing with some level 5 cat mages, you know what I'm saying? I don't think level 2 meta is going to shift too much, but tier 1 I think is going to be a much bigger part, because right now I just base it around defending and getting my tier 2. We'll see how much the game changes in the future, and I'll probably do a little video game, not another video, I'll probably do another video on that, how the game has changed from the past to now. But anyway, again, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Peace out.